The iPhone 16 series has just launched, but that doesn't mean there aren't people already looking forward to what's next. The iPhone 17 rumors have already begun, which includes a possibly radically new model in the iPhone 17 Air and iPhone 17 Slim. If you are on the fence about whether to upgrade to this year's model, having some idea about what's coming in the future might help you make the decision to buy now or wait. That's where this iPhone 17 versus iPhone 16 comparison comes in. We don't have anywhere near a complete picture of the iPhone 17 at this point, but we have heard enough details to compare what you could get from Apple's future phone with what the iPhone 16 brings to the table right now. Here's how the iPhone 17 versus iPhone 16 face-off is shaping up at the early stage. The most prominent rumor about the iPhone 17 lineup involves a shakeup to the models Apple is likely to introduce. It appears the standard iPhone as well as the two iPhone Pro models aren't going anywhere, but the just released iPhone 16 Plus may be the last of its kind. Instead, analysts tip Apple to roll out a new phone called the iPhone 17 Slim. This is not a one-to-one replacement of the Plus. Instead, it will be Apple's new premium phone, topping even the iPhone 17 Pro Max in next year's lineup. The iPhone 17 Slim's main feature is right there in the name. It's supposed to be the thinnest iPhone Apple's ever created, considering the iPhone 16 isn't exactly thick at 7.8mm thin. We are talking a very slender phone. Early rumors seem to indicate the iPhone 17 Slim will be a quite significant addition to Apple's product line, with Bloomberg's Mark Gurman calling it part of a new class of Apple devices that should be the thinnest and lightest products in the whole tech industry. As such, expect a premium price tag to match, with the Slim likely costing more than the iPhone 17 Pro Max. As for the actual prices, it's impossible to predict what Apple is going to charge for smartphones a year from now. Apple did hold the prices on the iPhone 16 models, so you would imagine that it would try to stick to the same ranges. For the iPhone 17 $799, iPhone 17 Pro $999, and iPhone 17 Pro Max $1,199, assuming no fluctuations in component prices. The ultra-thin look of the iPhone 17 Slim aside, early rumors don't have much to say about design changes to the iPhone 17 lineup. We would imagine that the action button added a year ago and the camera capture button debuting with the iPhone 16 lineup are here to stay. It's unclear if Apple has plans for any more buttons up its sleeve. The big story here could be displays. Now the iPhone 16 Pro and the iPhone 16 Pro Max have new established sizes at 6.3 and 6.9 inches respectively. The iPhone 17 Slim is expected to slot right in the middle of those phones with a 6.7-inch panel, and we had imagined the iPhone 17 will continue to offer the most compact screen at 6.1 inches. This should finally be the year that Apple joins the rest of the smartphone world in offering adaptive refresh rates for all of its flagship phones. That means the iPhone 17 is in line to get LTPO OLED panel, with the ability to ramp up its refresh rate to 120 Hz for smoother scrolling and better graphics. The iPhone 16 remains stuck at a fixed 60 Hz rate, so this will be quite the improvement even if it is long overdue. Apple just gave a refresh to every rear camera on board the iPhone 16 Pro and 2 of 3 lenses of the iPhone 16 Pro Max, so you might think that would be it for camera improvements. However, the iPhone 17 Pro Max could feature 48-megapixel sensors for all 3 of its rear cameras, with the telephoto lens getting a higher resolution sensor. It's unclear what that might mean for the iPhone 17 Pro and iPhone 17. But with the iPhone 16 Pro models adding a 48-megapixel ultra-wide lens this year, that's a potential feature that could trickle down to Apple's standard flagship. There is precedence for this, as the iPhone 15 gained a 48-megapixel main camera a year after the iPhone 14 Pro models picked up that feature. A more likely scenario is an improvement to the 12-megapixel true depth camera on the front of all current iPhones. One rumor tips Apple to turn a 24-megapixel sensor to handle selfies and FaceTime calls on the iPhone 17 lineup. We should also note a rather perplexing rumor about the iPhone 17 Slim. Some people expecting the phone to only feature one rear camera. That would be a space-saving maneuver to make the new phone as thin as possible. The A18 and A18 Pro chips powering the iPhone 16 and iPhone 16 Pro models have provided a big boost to Apple phones, with A18 Pro benchmarks in particularly establishing the Pro models as the speed kings. As good as the A18 Silicon performs though, the A19 likely to show up in the iPhone 17 family could be even better. There is not likely to be much difference between the software that powers both the iPhone 16 and iPhone 17. The new phones are all but certain to debut with the iOS 19 on board next fall, but Apple also releases that software as an update to older iPhones. Even at this early stage, the iPhone 17 sounds promising, with the iPhone 17 Slim in particular sounding like a big leap forward for Apple in terms of design. But should all that promise be enough to dissuade you from upgrading to what are some pretty fantastic phones in the iPhone 16 lineup? The challenge with any phone purchase is that there is always something potentially better just over the horizon. So you have to decide if the features available here and now are the ones you want. The iPhone 16 Pro is the best camera phone based in our testing, but the other iPhone 16 models also excel at capturing photos and videos. All four new models last a long time on a charge and provide snappy performance. In short, if you're looking for the best iPhones, any of the iPhone 16 models has a lot to offer right now. The iPhone 17 may look promising, but delivering on that promise is still a long way off.